Do you realize they just tested all of America to see if there would be a revolution? They literally said, okay, we're all pedophiles. We've been stealing all of your tax dollars and sending it to a genocidal regime. Look, in 4K, go ahead and look at this. We just murdered 500,000 people, 500,000 women and children. We're going to rebuild on their bones and then enslave you with technology and AI. And the American people literally did fucking nothing. So what comes next, you're complicit in. That's the reality, that our publicly elected officials and the American people are complicit in what happens next because we have done nothing. It's that simple.
Hello, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Bakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS who teach and rule well. Salutations to you brothers in the highways and byways. Salutations also goes out to you brothers and few sisters that tune in to listen and learn. The rest of the hopeful elect. To you all, I say Shalom. I'm the brother Malak from the Diligent Soldier Camp here in Boston, Mass. And as always, I pray this lesson be edifying to the elect. The name of this one is going to be, It Really Is That Simple. It really is that simple, okay? There's no need to beat around the bush, man. You know, just knowing what they didn't redact on these JE email files or whatever is enough to start that so-called revolution, man. You know what I mean? But or should be enough in the minds of the people to gather and, you know, organize and do something and protest against it, man. Not that I'm calling for none of that, okay? I'm just simply saying, you know, if what they admitted to doesn't move anybody to hit the streets and protest and fucking turn cars over and burn them and block roads or whatever, if none of that really moves them to do none of those things, then they definitely are involved, right? Which is what complicit means, man. Okay? You got a lot of heinous and demonic wickedness that occurred and still happening to this day because, you know, nobody's locked up. And these people can't just turn off those urges, those desires. Okay? So they still have to be doing these things, okay? Which goes to show you too, man. You know, if you know, even if you're not in this truth, you should know and realize by now, man, that, you know, this is an old practice, an old satanic, you know, which means adverse practice, okay, of these oligarchs, these elites, and even the lower level crony, the low hanging fruits of theirs, you know, that's been going on for a long time, and that alone should have wakened people up to the point where it infuriated them so much so that they do something about it, and they have it, okay, and they have it, man. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as the book of Sirach, chapter 10. I'll read verse 2. It says, As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. Okay, this man, Trumpito, has came out, you know, a few months ago, or about a year ago. Someone mentioned the JE files, and he's like, oh, you know, they're still talking about that. You know, there's nothing in there. There's nothing to see. You know, even though with all the evidence, the testimonies of people, and he says that, and people don't go and fucking call for his what is it that they do to get a president out? Not acquittal. I forget the terminology, but basically to get him out of there. You know, they didn't sign any petitions. They didn't protest. Oh, I can't say they didn't protest, but whatever they did protest, you know, wasn't effective at all. Okay, and that was a minute amount of people compared to the hundreds of millions of people that are here in Babylon, man. Okay, but the scriptures telling you, man, just like the judge, in this case, like the president, right, and anybody in his cabinet and lower than him in the government, and the officers, which goes into like the governors and everybody else, all the way down to police officers. Everybody is just like him, basically, man. Right? And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. That goes for citizens too, man. Okay? Because everyone heard what everyone heard, and nobody did a damn thing about it. You still got people saying release the files, and all you hear is people going back and forth online. But in reality, that's all for the birds, man, because that's how you keep the people divided. They're using this shit to their advantage, man. You know, never let a good crisis go by, or however the fuck they say it. You know, let's get another quick scripture. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 5. It says, yeah, also because he transgresseth with wine, right? That wine going into his philosophies, right? In his ways of doing things, and what he believes is how things should be. Just because, it says, yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, meaning breaks his own laws, and starting with the laws of the Lord, right? Because these people basically hijacked our Bible, our book, our way of life, the law, statutes, and commandments being therein, and they cast it behind them. You know what I mean? So he is a sinner, and he sins through his philosophy, his wine. All right, he is a proud man. Right? He's proud because he has convinced billions of people. Okay, and just look at his track record, man, and his fruits, so to say, man. He's still out here. I mean, we know it's because of the Lord. The Lord sets up kings around the earth, right? It's the Lord that does that, and everything that's going on in this world from the beginning of time till now is all orchestrated by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. If you could receive that, because I know a lot of people have a hard time accepting that, but it is what it is. If he's all knowing that he, and he was always like that, then he knew what was going to happen, right? And so therefore, the only explanation you could just admit to yourself is that the Lord knew all this was going to happen because he ordained it to be in that manner, in that way. The scriptures speak about a vessel of honor and a vessel of dishonor, man. All right, and Esau is that vessel of dishonor. Okay, which is why he's doing everything he's doing. The Lord designed him to be the total opposite of him. And then on top of that, gave him a little bit of power, made him a whole God on earth, man. A very low-level base God, but nonetheless, and also childlike, but nonetheless a God, a power. So because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. All right? This man is out and about all over the place. The military is spread out thin as hell all over the place, to all these vassal states, all these vassal countries, that pay tribute to us, or tribute to Babylon, the government of Babylon, to some extent. He does all this all around the world. He makes no changes in his own country, in his own place. Okay, it says here, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell. This man literally, let's go into the word desire real quick. Wish, lust, a strong feeling of wanting to have something or wishing for something to happen. All right, that's what the scripture is saying, that this man is wishing for a hellish condition around earth, man. Or basically a hell on earth, man. Pressure from above, pressure from below, having the people just on edge all the time. You got Wi-Fi running right through people in extreme measures. Your cell phone, anything and everything that's electronic emits some type of radio frequencies. But this man, makes these G4, G-Feezies and all that antennas, man, and that shit is just wreaking havoc on the body of the people, man. Okay? Anyways, but he says, who enlarges his desire as hell and is as death and cannot be satisfied. This is why these people, every 4 years, you dickheads vote. Not you brothers and sisters that are in this truth, okay? But the people out of this, to each their own. But they vote for these people every 4 years, and nothing really changes. It's just a new phase, same game, same results. And people don't realize that that's exactly how they want this to be, or the system is designed to be. All right. It says, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto himself all nations, and heapeth unto him all people, man. All right. This man's philosophy is all over the place, which is one of the reasons. North Korea has basically blacked himself out from the rest of the earth, man. He set themselves apart from the rest of the fucking planet. I mean, I guess there's a handful of countries that they deal with, but they do not trust these devils, man. And now you see what the small hatters are doing for the whole greater Israel project, right? They designed to have all that and heap it to themselves all people. Well, the ones that are complicit. Everybody else gotta die, basically. This is John 10:10. It says, the thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. That's all Esau does around the earth, man. Steal, kill, and destroy. Repeat. Steal, kill, and destroy, and repeat. All right. Yahweh Shai says here in red letter. This is all Yahweh Shai saying it. He says, I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly, starting with the remnant, the elect, right? Then trickling down to all of the rest of Israel. But even also the people, if you think about it, man. Because once we're in correct order and in power, the scriptures say when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. What is the opposite of that? Mourning, right? Because that same scripture says when the wicked are in rulership, the people mourn, man. And that's what you're seeing all around the world, man, is the mourning of the people, of the masses, man. All right. So until Yahweh Shai isn't basically set up, which he is, but he's about to take that rulership over. There's going to be nothing but death, and mourning in this planet, man. So much so that the Lord has to cut the days short, man, because this man wants to destroy the earth, man, purposely. Okay. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus again. Let me see. 10:8 this time. All right, the same chapter, but verse 8. It says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Now it's crazy because I was going to read Revelations 13 and 17 first, right? But I'll just leave that for last, right? Again, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. This man is unrighteous. His dealings is unrighteous. Every treaty that he signed with the Native Americans here, or the natives, I would say, because they wasn't calling themselves native or especially no damn American, but he broke all those treaties, man. And people don't look at his track record when he goes to their country. For the most part, they just don't trust him. But a lot of people don't call him out in their past transgressions, man. And he still gets in these countries, and then he takes them over. He even tells you in the scriptures even tell you not to set him up next to you, man. At least he takes his seat, basically, roughly paraphrasing. All right, this man has been in Argentina. These small hatters been in Argentina since that guy from back in the day that was heating up those ovens was so-called killed. He, declassified documents have come out admitting that this man lived the rest of his life out there, had children and all that out there, man. The world is a stage, man. You know, as a matter of fact, the life is a movie, man, and the Lord is the director of it, man. Okay? But the Lord got producers, man. All right? Starting with his right and left hand angels. But then even under that, there's people. All right? That these right and left hand angels minister to, and they do the bidding of the Lord, man. Or what the Lord wants each and every one individual to play their part as, okay? Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another, and that's soon going to happen. It's actually in the process of that, man. All right? We're just missing a couple prophecies to really pop off. A couple major prophecies, all right? One that I'm going to read right now, and the last one is the second coming of Yahweh Shai, man. All right, Yahweh giving him that green light to go search for the elect and destroy the wicked, man. That's gonna be his mission. This is the book of Revelations 13 and 17. 13, hold on, Salakia. 13 and 16, it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. Now, the reason I'm bringing out the scriptures that because the last thing that this man said was what? That technology, their technology was gonna help them enslave the people through AI, man. And you got all these data centers all over the place. You even got this what's his name, Jeff Bezos, saying that basically I forget exactly how he said it, man, but basically that, you know, some people are gonna have to suffer through the means of not having anything to drink, you know, water to drink, because they have to birth this technology, this AI technology, to help them rule, basically, and so-called resolve the issues of the earth. You know what I mean? But in reality, what they want to do is enslave humanity, man. Okay? And basically, what's that called? Forge the birthright that they deadbeat daddy Esau sold for some lentils, man. You know, whatever I can't think about it right now. Can't remember right now, but whatever Jacob was cooking, and this man went and you know, being the carnal is I'm hungry and I want some food right now type shit, man, he is, and sold his birthright, man. He discarded it like it was nothing. You know, what's this birthright good to me for right now, man, when I'm at the verge of perishing from famish or whatever, however the scripture said it. Not however the scripture said it, exactly how the scripture said it. Okay? I'm just roughly paraphrasing. Again, Revelation 13:16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand or in their forehead. And that mark, you could bet your last two fake, or as they call it, fiat money, or fiat dollar. You could bet your bottom dollar on that, man, because that's exactly what's going to happen. All right, and if you don't know by now, man, the MO to the TB, you know, this mark that the scripture's talking about, the charagma, all right, in Latin, I mean, Salakia in Greek, is the, indeed, without a shadow of a doubt, the RFID chip, man, the C-hip, we call it, because, you know, YouTube is sensitive like that. And he's going to cause that, cause everybody to get that, man. All right, and it's not dealing with white women. It's not Christianity. Why? Because the very next verse says, verse 17, and no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So how do you buy and sell with a white woman, or with an embargo, or with Christianity? Right? You don't, man. You buy it. You buy and sell through the means of some type of medium, and in this case, like, let's say, not in this case, but in the general case, money. You know, you use money. You have to have money to make money, basically, right? Well, this man is telling you have to have a charagma in order to make money. You're gonna need the charagma to buy whatever you need. You know, and without it, you know, you can't do nothing. That's what the scripture says, save he who had the mark. Okay? Save he that had the mark, or the name, or the number of the beast, or the number of his name, man. All right? Because this charagma is nothing but Esau's all. Okay? Basically tagging you, man, as his property. A good amount of people already his property, so to say. You know, the Supreme Court passed a law where, you know, a corporation or companies can't own you unless they alter you somehow. And what do you think these MR to the NA shizats was, man? Again, I'm, you know, trying to be wise with my words, even though they're not real words, but, you know, fuck the English language, man, and the Spanish language, man. These are our oppressors' language. Bastardized, spell-bound languages, man. Yeah, man. But nonetheless, man, this is this man's doing, and as the guy said here on the post-production, man, you know, not only Babylonians are going to be complicit, but the rest of the world, man. Because you have these people from all over the world doing these things to this day, and no one is doing nothing about it, man. Everyone is docile, everyone is complicit, everyone is involved, man, except for the men of the Lord that are crying and sighing for all the abominations that these people are doing, and giving warning on top of that of what's to come. So take heed, man. If you're wise, you'll take heed. If not, you know, whoever saw this video, clicked on this video for 2 seconds, probably just kept scrolling after that, and they wasn't the wise one. All right? I pray this lesson was edifying. In closing, I want to give all honors and praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS. Salutations to you brothers in the highways and byways. Salutations also goes out to you brothers and a few sisters that always tune in to listen and learn. To you all, I say Shalom, Ababa Bor, and Kwam Yasharala. Shalom.